If it doesn't, we'll just do it like last time, I guess.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
so now I gotta see the stream because
It says it's live.
I know we are live, but
Hello, everybody.
see the stream. Oh, damn.
What?
Yeah, it's like last time. Same thing.
And you did what that one guy said or
Wait, it's
person? I
actually
don't know if
it's
it's he or
switching
she.
by. It's switching back.
Huh?
It's switching back and forth by itself. Yeah, I did what he said. I mean, I sent,
Oh man. Well, I think we might just have to do it like we did last time.
but it's doing it on its own now.
Okay.
I guess it's going by like who's talking more.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. It's because that, I definitely do think like that should be focused on the one who is talking anyway.
Yeah, but I saw him when he did it. He had like the guy underneath somehow.
Right. But I really don't know what else to tell you though.
It's whatever. I don't care. It
Yeah,
looks.
as long as it works. I mean,
They can still hear you. So.
yeah, I mean, I really don't think that we should just sit there and overthink it. So,
Yeah. No, but it's working a lot better. Like it's switching back and forth. Like you know.
right, yeah, yeah, I think that was the issue we had last time. We were just trying to make it into an Einstein project.
Yes. Uh,
Right. So, anyways, I
is there
guess.
anybody that you like to invite? You can invite them or whatever.
Uh...
Like Myers fan 25 or something.
oh yeah, he'll be the first guy I would invite. I was gonna say maybe we could try to invite John Ferreira.
Sure, I don't. I used to have his number, but
Well,
because
do you have him
you know
on
John Ferrer
Facebook?
he's from New York too.
Do you have him on Facebook?
No, do you? I don't have any of his details anymore.
I do.
Message the live stream to him and see if he wants to come or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, John Ferreira. Live stream on movies.
Did you turn your camera off?
I turned my camera off so that I could access Facebook Messenger.
Oh, are you on your phone?
Yeah.
I see. Is that when you make videos, right? What camera do you normally use? Is it your phone that you use?
I actually tend to use my iPad more. I mean, sometimes I will use my phone, but it's just that, I think it's just easier just to use my iPad. It's just because I just think it just does better quality on
Mhm.
my iPad.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I remember when I first started making videos, I actually didn't even use phones at all. I actually remember I actually used to use like a really old video camera like that I had for since like 2006.
Mhm.
But yeah, I stopped using that in like 2011.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, I'm assuming that you make your videos with your phone.
No, actually, I use a camera,
Oh,
but
nice.
yeah, I actually use this webcam that I'm using right now to talk to you.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
I should use my phone. I feel like the quality on my phone is pretty good too,
Right.
because you have an iPhone, so you know the quality is pretty good. So you use your
Right.
i. You said you use your iPad, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have an iPad also. I've never filmed on it. I've only went live on it, and it was kind of annoying because when I went live, like I couldn't read the live stream. Like you have to keep like tapping the screen, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I have had that happen a few times.
right.
All right. It says that John. Okay, John is now writing me back.
Oh, I wonder if he remembers me.
He
I
might.
don't know. It's been like years. It's been literally like 8, 9 years. So
He said that I was just about to head out for a few in a little bit, man. So I don't think that he can join then.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Um,
Okay, well, he's sending me another message. He's currently typing
oh,
it. Okay, so yeah, so he's not going to be able to join this one, but maybe the next one.
oh, that's cool. That's okay.
But yeah, I actually have done a few podcasts with him, like on his new YouTube account.
Uh huh.
I remember one of them we did. I mean, we were just talking for hours. I mean, it pretty much was like when we did like our last live video stream where it went on for 3 hours. Holy crap! I can't believe that last one went on for 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I honestly can't really think of anybody else, so I guess just between us two,
That's it. Stuck with Eric.
you're stuck with me forever.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Wait, I would think I was able to do something. What is that? Whoa, why is it doing that again?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just some glitch. Other than that, I really have no idea.
You see that though? I'm able to show like the YouTube stream.
Yeah, but then it's like repeated in like echoes or.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that repeated thing. I don't know why it does
Yeah, I mean, I know some things about computers, but there's people who definitely know a lot more about it than I do, so I really have no idea.
that. Wait,
So
let me.
yeah, so I guess let's get started now because people are gonna want to watch this to hear
Yes.
us talk about movies. So
Yeah, I have some topics and something you could talk about. You just bring it up, whatever you want, you know?
okay, here's one.
Sure.
So have you heard about how they're wanting to make a second reboot of A Nightmare on Elm Street?
Really? Another one?
Well, from my understanding, now granted, I now just from my understanding, it's not going to be a remake. Thank
Hmm.
God. It's just going to be a reboot, kind of like with Batman Begins was not a remake of Batman '89. It just restarted the
Yeah.
franchise. So I, and from my understanding, it's going to be done by the same guys who have done like the Conjuring franchise. But
I mean, that's
they
a
they said that they have their hands full with the Conjuring movies, and that's why that they haven't gone to the new Nightmare movie yet.
right.
But you know, I am curious to see it, but it's just that
Hmm.
I don't know if they'll get Robert back or not. Robert did say that he would come back for Freddy one more time,
Yeah.
but he is getting pretty old now, and he's not going to be around too much longer. I mean, he's like what in his 70s now.
Yeah, I mean, I love Robert England, but I think we would have to find a new Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
Only
I do
because
too. As much as I hate to say it,
yeah, me too. Because the thing is, if they want to make sequels or anything, they're gonna have to use another actor anyway. So, hey,
right?
Cushman, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Hmm.
Right. And it's just that, I do think it's kind of, as much as I hate to say this, it's no disrespect to Robert Englund, but I just think it's just kind of pointless that they're to bring him back because when they make sequels, like what you said, I mean, they would have to replace him anyway. So I'm
I
trying
mean,
to think of who they
he's
can
one of my.
get.
So, if anybody knows this about me, is actually my favorite horror movie is Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. Um, I just liked it a little more than Halloween because it was like a different type of slasher film for me.
Right.
That's what I liked about it. I love Halloween, but I love that you could kill somebody in your dreams. Like, how awesome is that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm a fan of both franchises, but
Yeah, me too. Me
I
too.
mean, I am a little bit biased. I have a little bit more nostalgia for Halloween. But at the same time, though, I also do have a lot of nostalgia for
Yeah,
Freddy too. But but that's one of the cool things about Freddy. It's like that, because it's in your dreams. I mean, that there's just so much what you can do with that, and
yeah,
just the thought that when you're asleep. I mean, of course, that's when you're the most vulnerable, and I just love that about Freddy, and I love his personality and the fact that slashers at that time, you know, they're killers with like a mask and they want to talk, but yeah, Freddy was a slasher, but yeah, I mean, he didn't. I guess technically you can count his his like burnt face as a mask, but not really. So and then, but I mean, it wasn't like that he wore like a literal mask, like a hockey mask, and so and so. And the fact that Freddy actually talked, man, that's something that you don't really see barely at all with a lot of
That's one of the reasons why it was my favorite, because it was the first time we had a horror villain who actually was scary when he talked, and he talked.
right,
And I love Michael Myers and I love Jason, but they never talked, and that was kind of annoying to me. I mean, I get why they don't talk,
right.
but it was
I
just
do too.
like, no, it makes sense, but it's just that, it added another element to
Right,
the Nightmare on Elm Street. It made it more different for me, and also I just found that when I was younger, it was actually, I saw that movie before Halloween, so that's why I have more of a connection with it. Whichever
right.
horror movie you see first, I'm pretty sure you probably saw Halloween before Nightmare.
Yes.
The Nightmare was actually the first horror movie I saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
But yeah.
Mhm.
The first Freddy movie I saw was actually not the first one. Actually, was the second one. I
Oh
saw
my
that when I was in
god.
like fifth grade, and I remember I caught it on TV, and I remember that the part that I just happened to have come by when I saw it on TV, it was when like Freddy like came out of Jesse's chest, and also when Freddy was at like that pool party,
Yeah.
and and I remember watching that scene as a kid. It actually scared the crap out of me. And
I like Nightmare on Elm Street too, but it was a little different than the original.
yeah, I mean, I can understand why people don't like it, but personally,
I still liked it. I just
I mean,
Mhm.
I definitely do see some of its problems.
It
I mean,
definitely has flaws.
it
Yeah.
has its problems, but I don't think I okay, this is not going to be the popular opinion, but I honestly don't think it's as bad as some people say it is.
Oh no, it's not. I don't think it is at all. I think they were trying to do something new. They were
Right,
with making that guy trying to be like Freddy, but it was a risk, and it's good to take risks. But the thing is,
right.
you got to make sure that when you take a risk,
That
like,
it pays off.
yeah, it's gonna hit. And that one just, it didn't hit, um, as well as
All of its
they would
days.
like it to.
Yeah, although I have to admit, I do like the third one better, but
Hmm. Yeah.
the
The
but
third one's a lot similar to the first one. So, like the formula
right.
and all.
But one huge problem I have with Nightmare 2 is the fact that it doesn't even have the Nightmare on Elm Street theme song. I mean that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like having that's like kind of like having a Halloween movie without the Halloween theme. It's just it's just not the same without it. But I
Yeah.
do like how Freddy like is a lot more dark in two than say compared to some of the other sequels like 5 and 4 and so and so. But
I mean, they can remake Nightmare on Elm Street, but like Halloween, like any of the movies that they remake, it's just not gonna be the same.
right, and then after I saw 2, I
And
saw 5 on VHS at a friend's house, and then I finally didn't see the first one until I was a freshman in high school.
honestly, though, like Nightmare on Elm Street matters a lot on Robert Englund, so it matters on the guy,
Right.
right? You gotta have, he kind of got has to look like him. And hey, Asia, how are you? Uh, so going back to that for a second though, was Freddy? He has a look, like Jason and Michael Myers. They don't have that. Anybody could technically be them as long as you have the mask. Is my point. With Freddy, you can tell what he looks like. Like when you saw Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake that just happened,
Right.
the big issue was that he didn't look that nice. Like his makeup wasn't that great,
Yeah, and you know, pe-
and his
people
voice was
tend to
too
go,
much.
people tend to go back and forth with which one's the worst one in the franchise, either 5, 6, or the remake. But honestly, I'll probably say that the remake is the worst one. I actually rewatched it like sometime
Yeah, I have not seen.
like in
Like, I don't
2017.
like that movie so much that I only saw it once in the theaters, and that's it.
I saw it twice in theaters.
Mhm.
So the first time I saw it, it was only because at that time I never seen a Freddy movie in theaters, and I thought oh, it's finally my chance to see a Freddy movie in theaters, and I was so hyped about it, and I was so disappointed afterwards. The only
Yeah.
reason why I saw it a second time in theaters is because of some of the friends at that time. You know, they really wanted to go see it, and and I didn't want to be the bad guy, and I was like, all right, fine, we'll go see it. And then I rewatched it like either
Who did you see it
2017
with
or
the first
2018.
time?
What?
Who did you watch it with the first time?
With an old friend of mine named Jeremy and his dad, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, but I don't talk to them anymore. And
Oh, damn.
yeah,
We're getting
yeah,
personal
yeah.
here.
I mean, that's a topic for another day,
Another
and
day.
I don't really want to
Yeah,
get into that
sure.
right now.
This is
But
not a personal thing. This is movies.
right,
Although,
yeah. And so I rewatched the remake either a year ago or 2 years ago, and
yeah,
I was trying to be as unbiased as I could.
right.
And honestly, even though I was trying to be unbiased, I'm sorry, but I still think the movie sucks. I mean, the acting is boring, the pacing is boring, it's not scary, it's cliche,
Hmm.
and and mostly just relied on jump scares.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes jump scares can work, like say in Halloween H2O, that one made sense. It's because of how Laurie is that paranoid that
You
Michael
know,
Myers is always there.
I
So
will give.
that makes sense. And I
I,
also don't like his makeup in the remake.
that's what I was
I
trying to say. This is the thing about Freddy is his look is very important, and they messed up.
right,
When you mess up the look, it just messes up everything because you got to constantly
right,
be watching and be like, wait, that doesn't look anything like him.
right. I mean, that's like saying that you're gonna take Batman and you're gonna take off the pointy ears,
Yeah.
take off the Bat logo. I mean,
I mean,
well,
look,
then it's
that's
just
one
not
big problem. That's one big problem with Batman and Robin, actually.
is the Bat
It's the
nipples.
bat suit itself. Um, but so going back to Friday the 13th, though. I mean, Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Hey,
Right.
Buffy, what's up? What was I saying? I totally forgot. I was gonna say something.
Yeah, we're all saying how the makeup of the remake was bad. Okay, now, do I
Yeah.
understand that they want to go a more realistic route? Sure, but I mean, it's not really realistic in the first place. It's because it's about a guy who kills you in your dreams, but I digress. Okay, they wanted to go that route. What I think that they should have done is just take the look from Two-Face from The Dark Knight, and then rather just having it be half his face, have it be his full face.
Well,
I think that they
Timothy,
could have. I
it's not.
think that they could have gone away with that. I think that they could have gone away with that, but I mean, do I understand that some burn victims actually do look like what he looks like in the remake?
Yeah.
Sure, but just that just doesn't work for Freddy though.
This, the remake had some. They had some good ideas, but they didn't execute them well. They had
Yeah, good ideas, but just not executed well.
yeah, like the one idea they had that I thought was brilliant was for us not to know if Freddy was actually killed those kids or not. Like
Right.
that was such a good thing, but they ruined it.
But I mean, of course, because it's Freddy, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that he did.
I know, but they didn't have to reveal it to us. It could have just been in the back of our heads, I feel like, and we just think. Hey, I never thought you could make Freddy Krueger a sympathetic character, but they almost did it.
Right. They almost did. They almost did.
They almost pulled it off, and then they like made him so much worse than I think he was even in the actual movie.
Yeah, and there was some controversy about how they changed some of his backstory in the remake. But granted, I understand why, but at least that they didn't show it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least that they implied it, which I think that's how you should do it. Unlike, say, a Serbian film where they don't imply and they just show it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't say the reason I can't say I'm against the remake is because I love to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know if anybody could ever do it like how Wes Craven did it. That's the
Right.
only
Yeah.
thing. Um,
And from my
but
understanding, I mean, Wes
mhm.
Craven had some hits before Nightmare, like Hills
Of
Have
course,
Eyes and Last House on the
yeah.
Left. I think it really was Nightmare on Elm Street, like that really truly kicked off his
Nightmare on Elm Street
career.
made him a bigger name. Yeah. Also, so the best thing about these horror movies are they're also like very low budget.
Right. And so and therefore
Now they're
you
gonna make the budget like crazy big and all this, and you don't really need that for a
Oh
horror.
yeah, and that reminds me. In the remake, okay, so I mean, of course, there was that iconic scene where Freddy went through the wall above Nancy's bed,
Oh yeah,
and the funny thing is,
looks so bad in the new one.
and what's funny is that in the original, I mean, like what cost them $5 to do that effect, but in the remake, they spent thousands or millions of dollars on CGI. The
Yeah,
CGI looks terrible in the remake, while in the original, it cost them $5 and it looks a heck of a lot better.
right.
It's like you really have no excuse.
Hmm.
It's like you spent more money on the same effect and it looks horrible.
Yeah, and so yeah, going back to that. So the fact that they're trying to remake it, I just I do want I would like to see it, but I really think they're gonna mess it up unless like they take their time with it, you know?
Right. I mean, it's
Like I
now
don't want Batman versus Superman. Like that was
oh
rushed. You
yeah,
can tell, right?
I
Like,
really
so
don't, and especially because honestly, at this point, the Nightmare franchise is pretty much dead at this point. I mean, of course, the franchise does still have its fans,
yes.
but it's just that it's just as far as in the mainstream media, Freddy is pretty much dead.
Yeah.
But of course, because that Nightmare on Elm Street is a franchise, I mean, of course, it's not always going to stay dead. If it makes money, then then they'll always bring it back. But yeah, it's just I really don't think they're gonna do another remake because kind of like with Spider-Man. I mean, we've seen his origin so many times like that by now we'll like that we get it.
I mean,
And
they did remake it. They just didn't show his origin. That was all. Oh.
you mean in the remake?
Yeah, in Spider-Man Homecoming, they didn't
Right,
even
and
show his origin.
which is why that I'm so glad that they didn't because we all know it anyway. And so
Well, they could do
and
that with Freddy Krueger. I mean, they could make a movie and not show his origin. Everybody knows it already.
right, and if they truly have to, I mean, they could just show it in like the opening credits or something.
Right, right. Um, I don't know.
But
I'd love to see it just because it'd be Freddy Krueger, but you got to get a good actor for that role, and you got to also get a good director and somebody who could direct horror. Because it doesn't matter how good of a director you are, but directing horror is completely different. You can't just rely on jump scares and things like that, like they did in
right,
the previous one.
right, yeah, it's like you have to build up the
If,
atmosphere, the mood. I mean, you have to build up the tension.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
there's a lot more to it than just
yeah.
jump scares. I mean, I don't mind some jump scares, but it's just the one I'm really getting tired of is like,
Hmm.
someone taps them on the shoulder and then, oh, and the other one I'm getting tired of is where they're looking through like a closet and then it's just like a cat that jumps out and scares them.
I did, yeah. Um,
Those two I'm getting really tired of.
but you did mention that like who were thinking about directing it.
Yeah, I actually was gonna ask you. So, who do you think should direct it, and who do you think should be the new Freddy?
Oh man, that's so tough.
It is.
For me to pick anybody but Robert England is like hard.
If I had to pick anybody to play Freddy, I can see it being Hugo Weaving.
Oh, he'd be awesome. Yeah.
I think I could see Kevin Bacon doing it, but
Oh no, I don't want Kevin Bacon. Don't want.
I mean, I could
You know what
see
this is?
it, but
This
it's
goes
just I
back to
just think he's
your.
just too big of a name
This
that
goes.
would be kind
This
of
goes,
distracting. Hello,
this goes back to your love of Stand By Me, I think.
right? But yeah,
I like Kevin Bacon, but I can't picture him as Freddy Krueger. I don't know.
yeah, and I
Hugo
can
Weaving is a
understand that.
great choice.
I mean,
Uh,
Bacon probably wouldn't be a lot of people's first choice anyway.
yeah,
But
I like Hugo Weaving though. That I think he's a
another
great
one I
actor.
can see. I mean, he's not a big name, but I can see the guy who they got in like all those fan films of Freddy. I don't know if you've seen them, but the fan films are like The Nightmare Ends on Halloween.
No, I have not. I've not seen any of those actually.
Well, I mean, when you get the chance, definitely do so. I think that the guy that they got to play Freddy,
Hmm.
I mean, when I watch those fan films, sometimes it actually tricked me into making me think like that actually was Robert. I mean, the guy, and ironically enough, like that, the actor even has the same first name as Robert Englund, and he looks like him, and he sounded a lot like him, so I could see it being
I know
him,
who I
but
want the director to be, though. You might
who
laugh at me, but or you may agree with me. I don't know. The
who is
director
it?
is the guy I want from Saw, the first Saw.
It's funny you said that. I actually was gonna say the same thing.
James Wan. I think he would be
Yeah,
perfect because he did Insidious. Also, I like that movie. He
and
did
he did The
Saw,
Conjuring.
Conjuring. Yeah, and he's pretty. He seems pretty good. Like he's pretty knowledgeable. The way he does his movies, pretty good.
Right, but but as much as I love James Wan, I mean, I think it would be kind of interesting to see someone else do it. Like,
Yeah.
I
Who
thought
would
I
you
heard
have?
that the director of Annabelle Creation wanted to do a Freddy movie, and he also wanted to do a Critters
What I
movie
don't
too.
get is why anybody would want to do a Freddy movie, just because it's like such a big risk, and you know that most
Right, it
people are not
is.
gonna
I
like
mean,
it.
if you
So
mess it up,
yeah,
it's gone.
you're gonna.
Which is
It's
the
exactly what happened to the guy who did the remake. You know, it's like
and it's funny you said that. I was about to say the same thing. I mean, what's funny is like that Samuel Bear didn't
mhm.
even want to do the movie, but the reason why that he did is because that Michael Bay pressured him into doing it, and it really
That's another
shows.
thing. No Michael Bay as the producer. I
Oh
don't
heck
want him
no!
there at all. He
Oh
doesn't know
heck
anything
no!
about horror. Why is he producing this film?
I mean, the only good horror movie that he produced, I will admit, I the only good one that he did was a Quiet Place.
Oh, A Quiet Place. Yeah, but A Quiet Place was that really like a horror film? I feel like that's more like a thriller. Um,
There's a lot of debate about that, but hmm,
yeah.
I I say it's both.
It's like a mix, but it's not the same as like Nightmare on Elm Street. That's my point, right?
Right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not a slasher movie,
Not a
but
slasher. And um,
I also didn't mind the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Although I will admit that I think that the original is better.
oh yeah, the original is better, but I actually saw the 2003 one first. Because
I think I also did.
yeah, I didn't know there was an original. I thought that was the original. Then I went back. I was like, oh wait, oops. And I saw the
It's
original. And then I
funny.
was like, it changed my whole opinion. But I still like the remake of Texas Chainsaw. I still thought it was pretty decent. Like it
I do
wasn't.
too, and by far my favorite character. It's probably going to be a lot of people's favorite. I thought that the sheriff totally
Oh,
stole
of
the whole
course, the
entire
sheriff
show.
was completely creepy in that.
Yeah, man, it's just kind of a shame. Well, like that, the guy who played him
He
passed
passed away,
away.
right?
Mhm.
He passed away.
Yeah, I think it was just from old age.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was the same guy in Full Metal Jacket, if I'm not.
Yes, it was, and
Yeah.
he also was the voice of the toy soldiers and the. He also was the voice of the
Oh,
toy
he was a
soldiers
toy
in the Toy
soldier
Story
too.
films. Uh huh.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, one of the
Um,
things I always thought that if they were to bring back that one if they were to bring back J. Jonah Jameson,
mhm.
I always thought that, well, if they're not going to bring back
Oh,
the
he's
guy who played him
great.
in the Sam Raimi films of Spider-Man, I I think that
Yeah.
whatever the guy's name was who played the sheriff, I think that he would have been perfect.
Jonah Jameson is pretty good. I like him. Yeah, but it's hard to pick somebody for Freddy Krueger. It's just you gotta
It
have,
is.
yeah,
I
like
think that maybe they should take a risk and they should get somebody who we don't know, because if it's somebody who we don't know, well, then we won't be so
that's
focused
the
on it being
problem with
somebody
Kevin.
who's
That's the
famous.
problem with Bacon for me. I know Kevin Bacon too well, and I can't see his look being like Freddy, and I don't think he would have any interest in playing the role in the
Well,
first place.
I thought I saw an article saying that he would think it's interesting to play Freddy. I mean, Kevin has done horror films before,
He
so.
was like a kid also around that time, so I'm guessing he probably likes those movies.
Mhm. Yeah, and I really
Is that
don't.
your favorite character in Stand By Me? The bully.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Somebody actually said that he might make a good Freddy, and heck, and even somebody once even said, like over 10 years ago in a movie forum that I was in, that they think that Eugene Levy, the guy from American Pie, would make a
Really?
good Freddy
That?
Krueger. I'm like, Eugene Levy as Freddy
No.
Krueger?
No way. He's too comical, Eugene Levy.
And for me, it would be really distracting for his big, thick eyebrows, but
Yeah, I mean, I like
I
him as
really don't see him as Freddy.
he's a great dad character, but that's it. I don't see him as Freddy at
Yeah,
all.
Eugene Levy, the guy from Cheaper by the Dozen too, and but I mean, granted, people said the same thing about Michael Keaton as Batman. They're like, oh, the guy from Mr.
Oh, what about Michael Keaton as Freddy Krueger? It actually doesn't sound that bad,
Oh, now that you say that, I never would have thought of that. I
right?
mean,
We just said it, and I
my
thought of it, and I could kind of picture him being Freddy.
Michael Keaton does have that smile,
Yeah, and he's
but I
very
just
good
don't
at
know if
playing
he
a
would
bad
do it or not. I just don't know if he would do it or not.
guy. I don't know.
I don't think he's
He's
ever even
done
done a
so
horror
many
movie.
iconic roles.
Yeah, like Batman, Birdman, and recently he was
He was the Vulture, and
yeah, the Vulture.
so
He was
I don't
Beetlejuice.
know. Yeah, I don't know. He likes to take challenges like that.
But
So
yeah,
for director, what about Tim Burton then? Or no, you would be
I
totally
could see it being Tim Burton because the whole fantasy element,
and then
and even
pairing him with Michael Keaton would be perfect again.
right, and either that or either that or he would cast Johnny Depp.
Oh my God, no! I love Johnny Depp, but I can't see him as Freddy Krueger, especially
I
since he
can't
was in
either.
the first movie.
Right, and which is ironic because he was in the first movie.
Yes, he got killed in the prison. No, in the bed. Sorry, in the bed.
Yeah, he got killed in
Yeah,
the bed.
yeah.
You're thinking of
I'm thinking about
the
the
other
other guy who got
boyfriend
killed in the
character,
prison. Yeah. No,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Johnny Depp got killed in the bed. I remember the guts and all that coming out.
yeah. It's weird to watch the first movie now because Johnny Depp was so
Oh
young
yeah.
in that movie.
Oh
He was
my
like
God.
what,
It
19?
yeah. It's like it doesn't even look like him. It's like what the hell?
And also, what's funny is that, from my understanding, the only reason why that he got cast in the original was only because that Wes Craven's daughter thought that he was hot.
Actually, yeah, that is one of the reasons. And
That is
we could
funny.
talk about Nightmare on Elm Street all day because it's
We
like one of my
definitely could.
yeah. It's one of my like I said, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it is my
It's
favorite
one of
horror.
my favorites too.
Yeah, and it's my favorite horror movie of all time.
Even
Uh,
though I like Halloween more, but
yeah, but
oh
like.
yeah. So I
Mhm.
don't know if I ever told you, but I actually met one of the actors from Nightmare 3 and 4.
Oh, 3 and 4. Who'd you meet?
That one,
That one.
Ken. Yeah. The actor that. Yeah.
How
The
the hell
actor
did
that.
you meet him?
Yeah. The actor who I met was the actor who I met was Kent Sagos.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I asked him, so how'd you feel about your character getting killed off in part 4? He said that he hated it.
Of course, nobody wants to get killed in a movie. They just want to keep.
Especially when he survived in the third one.
Yeah, and people rarely survive Freddy movies unless you're like the main character.
Right. And do you think that they should bring back Nancy in the new movie?
Well, yes, you can't have. It's like having. This is the problem with Nightmare on Elm Street. I keep saying Friday the 13th. I don't know why. Okay, this is the problem with me for Nightmare on Elm Street. They should have never killed Nancy. She was so vital. She was so
Right.
good. Heather, she was so good. Langenkamp, she was so good
Yeah.
in that movie.
Yeah, that's one of the problems I have with the third movie is that I don't
Yeah,
like the way how they killed her.
yeah, they should have never killed her. If anything, she should have got a fake death like Laurie Strode or something.
Right. But since that, this whole thing about being a sequel to the original and ignoring all the sequels, I think that they, with that being popular now, I think that maybe the new Nightmare might do that, be
Mm-hmm.
a sequel to the first one and ignore all the sequels.
Right.
But then, you would have to go back to the problem of it being a franchise, and like we said, and with Robert Englund and and his age now, and we don't know how much longer he's going to be around.
What's up,
And,
Skins fans all day? We're just
but
talking
yeah,
about Nightmare on Elm Street and the possibility of them doing a remake after they just did a remake.
well, from my understanding, it's more of a reboot, but
Yeah, reboot,
remake
start
was
all
a
over.
reboot too. But what I think would be cool is if they were actually based it on some of like the Nightmare on Elm Street novels that came out, like that. There was one where like these high school girls use Freddy like to get back to some like the bullies or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool, and at the same time, though, it also would be kind of new.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, have you ever seen the documentary Never Sleep Again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be one of like that's got to be like one of the best horror documentaries I have ever
Which
seen.
one, the Nightmare on Elm Street one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw it. It's so
it's
sad because
long.
the movie almost didn't get made. Um, no one believed in making movies like that back then. In
Hmm.
making movies about like dreams and all that, nobody liked the idea. It's also like,
Right, and it's
uh-huh.
right, and it is funny to think that the original Nightmare actually almost
Almost didn't
didn't
happen.
hit.
They didn't have a budget, you know? And so this goes back to a lot of stuff in movies. It's like people always talk about the money aspect, but people forget it's not just about making money. They have to spend money. So when they make money,
Right.
they only make a certain percentage unless it does really, really well, you know? And it's still a job at the end of the day for those people.
That it is, and that's something what people like the Myers fan does
Oh
not
my God,
understand.
yes. What he said about Jamie Lee Curtis.
And John Carpenter, how they're only in it for the money. I'm like, well, everybody making movies is
Yes. Now,
because that's their job.
I don't think you should make a movie just for money. Like,
You also should do it for the passion too.
yeah, like obviously money is an aspect because it's still a business no matter what. But you can't just do it like that. Like you gotta have some passion. Like that's a thing that I'm scared about. I hate to talk about this again, but with the Aladdin and the Lion King, I just hope that they don't mess it up because these are classics. And
I really hope that they don't because that both of those are very. I mean, that's gonna be really hard to pull off, and that's pretty touchy for a lot of people because that's a lot of people's childhood.
yeah, to me, I'm kind of surprised that Disney would do that because
I am too because remaking both of those is
yeah,
pretty bold.
in the same year, nonetheless,
Right, in the same year, and
a few months apart from one another.
and I'll give them both a chance, but
Of course, the
you
thing
know,
is, look, if
we
they're
already know. Yeah, but we already know how I feel about both of them by now.
yeah, yeah, no, me too. I made a video on the Aladdin one. I'm really hoping, like, this is the thing. Hope it's good, but I don't really see that happening.
But yeah, just try not to get your hopes up too much.
Exactly. Um, so that's the thing with Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I would really hope that it could be at least decent because the last one was really bad. So
Right, and I mean, the only place that they can go from now is up, but unless if they just don't care,
I will
they
give
can dig the hole deeper.
this. I will give credit to though the people they had, like the teenagers in the movie. For Nightmare on Elm Street, they weren't that bad. Like
You mean
sometimes,
the remake?
yeah, the remake they did an okay job. Like a lot of times you watch those old movies and they were not the Nightmare on Elm Street, but like some of the older ones. Like, oh my god, Friday the 13th has the worst characters. You just want to punch them all in the
Right.
face.
And honestly,
They're so bad.
I know this is not the popular opinion. I'm sorry, but I've just never been a big fan of the first Friday the 13th.
Yes, I remember this.
Okay, I know it's a classic. Oh, that I
Actually,
know that, but I'm
I did a
sorry, but
review. Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much filler. Like the part where she makes coffee and you see her making the whole thing. It's like that was so pointless. And
Yeah.
some of the acting was really cheesy. Like and the music was a little bit overbearing, and and the whole mystery about who the killer was. I mean, it was kind of obvious at the end where like a new character comes in who we just met. It's like, I wonder who it is. I mean, it really ruins the mystery. And the best part about it was like the ending, like where Jason popped out of the water.
Yeah.
But then they had to ruin it by
They said it was a
cutting
dream.
her into like a hospital bed. I'm like,
Yeah.
you should have ended the movie right when Jason pulls her into
Yes.
the water.
That would have made sense because then continuation from that would have all made sense too. And it was a
Right.
great. I thought that ending. Okay, that ending would have saved the movie.
It definitely would have, but then they had to have ruined it.
Yeah. The thing
It's
is,
just
so if you remember, we did the review crew back in the day, and that was
oh yeah,
actually
that was a long time ago.
that was one of the movies I actually reviewed, and I saw that you agreed with me, which I was shocked because a lot of people I know like that movie so much. I don't know why. Maybe because it's an original or something.
Yeah,
And
probably just because of that
you
is the
actually agreed with
original in
my
the
points. You were
franchise.
like agreeing with everything I was saying.
But yeah, it's just it's fine that people like it, and and there actually are some other YouTubers who actually don't put the first one in there, high on their list. Like
Yeah.
there's Rambo Raff for life. Rambo Raff definitely doesn't put the original Friday the 13th
Well,
high up there compared to the
it's
sequels.
not
And
bad. It's just not good. It's just like it's okay. I feel like it's the
it's just
middle.
one big problem is the pacing. I
Oh
mean,
god.
the original Halloween has some
All the
slow moments
storytelling is pretty
too,
bad in that movie.
but it's just that Halloween just did it a lot better. I mean, Halloween did it in a way to build up the
Yeah.
suspense, but in Friday the 13th, there were just slow moments just for the sake of it.
If we had to rate those three, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th, but we both would put Friday the 13th as a number three. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I also do like some of the gore effects by Tom Savini. I like that, but just overall, I mean, it's cool that there was a female killer, which is we don't see that very often. But I'm sorry, I've only seen like the original Friday the 13th twice, and the second time I tried my best to give it a chance, but I'm sorry, but I just can't get into it.
Which one can't you get into?
The first one.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
I mean,
everyone after, like the second one is pretty good, and the third one is amazing.
I think it's funny how in like the second one where there's actually part like where Jason like gets hit in his nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's also interesting to think that Jason actually didn't get his mask until the third one.
Yeah.
Which is funny. It's because the mainstream media always thinks that, oh, Jason has always been the killer and he's always had his hockey mask. I'm like,
No, he didn't get it
I'm
till
like,
the third one. And the guy he killed was so funny. I still remember that character.
yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Like the character's name is Shelly.
Yeah, Shelly. You see what I'm saying? This is the thing about the Friday the 13th. Their teenagers were so different than Halloween or A Nightmare on Elm Street. They're so like campy and ridiculously dumb that it just when they died, it made me happy that some of them were dying.
Right. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of Friday. I mean, those ones are more fun kind of slasher movies.
And if
I
you
don't
have
think that they're really trying to be
sex
scary.
in the woods, you're dying. Those guys always die.
But yeah, man, the interesting thing about the guy who plays Shelly, he's actually now a lawyer.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
I
and
can tell
apparently
you
he's
that.
been involved, and
Uh-huh.
apparently he's been involved with like the whole legal problems that have been going on with the Friday the 13th film franchise, which is why that we haven't had a new movie in so long.
I hate when he gets killed in that movie.
In the
In the third
reboot,
one. Oh, no.
oh, in the
Oh, they put
third
him in
one,
the. They put Shelly in the reboot.
well, there was a character who he got the hockey mask from. In that sense, yeah.
Oh.
But at the same time, though, it wasn't like it was Shelley.
Yeah, yeah. Because I did see the remake also, but I didn't remember that.
Yeah, the remake has been the only Friday movie I've seen in theaters, just like with Nightmare on Elm Street, and
You know, you kind of look like Jared Padalecki. I think that's his name.
not not the first time I have heard that.
Yeah, you have a kind of similarity to him, and I like him. I think he's a pretty good actor, actually.
I do too, and I
He should
actually
be
remember.
more horror films.
Remember one time I saw in like a horror forum that I was in like a long time ago, like
Hmm.
that somebody thinks that he should play Michael Myers. I'm like, that's interesting.
Well, he does have the kind of body like Michael Myers,
Right, he does,
and he
but
has a
yeah,
long hair because Michael Myers. I don't know. Does Michael Myers have long hair? Because in some movies he did, and in some he
well,
didn't.
he did in
The Rob Zombie one he did.
Rob Zombie one. In five, I guess he had medium length hair.
Wait, was five the one with the worst hair? There was one Michael Myers that had like just straight hair. It was so boring looking. I don't know why they gave him that look. Was that five or six? No, I think six was the one with the worst Michael Myers like look, like the
Well,
mask.
five was where he looked like he was about to kiss you.
That sounds horrible.
And then the fourth one was where it was like a Party America mask. But if I had to pick my poison, either the four mask or the five mask, I would rather have the five mask, but that's still not saying much. I mean, that's like saying that the crap I took last night was better than the crap I took this
Yeah, I
morning.
don't. This is the
You know, the
question.
way it's still a taste out.
I never, Eric. I never asked anybody this, but and it may sound like a dumb question, but why did they change the masks? The mask was fine in the first
Right.
movie.
From
They
my
should
understanding, it was because of legal issues. But even
really
then, it's
William
like that
Shatner
was
was gonna
really
sue.
distracting.
Legal issues. What were the legal issues?
I don't know. I mean, it gets ridiculous. It's like, come on. It's like we want to see the original mask back.
Yeah, it
It's
was
because
so
of that
good.
one was
The
by
William
far the
Shatner. Come
scariest one.
on. The funniest thing I always found out was that that's William
Was
Shatner's.
William Shatner?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I guess you could say that William Shatner just has a really scary face.
Yeah, I mean, like once you make it in like a clay form and all that stuff.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. One of the things I love most about him is that his mask is just so creepy, and like the fact that his
Sometimes though,
mask
in
pretty
some of the
much
Halloweens, it looked kind of weird, like you were saying.
like that. You know, his mask perfectly represents who Michael Myers is. I mean, like
I think,
he is a human in the
yeah.
but he's only the shape of a human, like
Well,
that.
that's what he was called.
He's
He was
one.
originally called
He
the
has no
Shape.
expressions.
He was called the Shape. Um, the thing I do agree with you.
And then I finally made him the shape again in the new one.
It's way better than Jason. Jason is just a hockey mask. I I never
Yeah,
thought.
I mean the hockey mask is iconic, but it's just not scary.
Yeah, I don't know, but they somehow made it kind of scary.
I mean, it's some like the lighting, yeah, but it's just not as scary as
Oh, definitely not.
the mask that Michael Myers
Well, the
has.
thing is, like, we associate with Jason the mask, so it makes it just scary because we know it's Jason. You know?
Right. I mean, you know, we all know it's somebody who could kick our ass.
Yeah.
But but yeah, and to my surprise, a video that I made about about a new Friday the 13th movie coming out is actually one of my most viewed videos. It got like 13,000 views. I think it's because of the fact that there's not much
Wait, what is
information
that
out.
about?
Huh?
What is
Yeah,
that movie, that video about that you were talking
there
about?
was there was a video I made last year about how that they plan on making a new Friday the 13th movie, and that's actually now one of my most viewed videos. It has like 13 or 17,000 views,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's because of how that we we haven't had a new movie in so long, and how there's not really a lot of information out about it. So maybe that's why it got so many views.
Yeah, there's not much information.
Yeah, there's really not.
Well, what did you even talk about then?
Well, I was just talking about how it was going to be a found footage movie, but then they canceled that, and I was just pretty much I was just giving as much information as I knew, like that the fact that they were planning it, and that I was just giving out ideas for what they could do. I was saying that as much as I love Jason and Camp Crystal Lake, I wanted to see something different, and the fact that yeah, they did try that before with Jason Goes to Hell and Jason Takes Manhattan, but it wasn't so much the fact that they did something different, it was
You know,
how they did it.
the Jason remake honestly wasn't bad. I remember
It wasn't bad,
I
but
remember actually enjoying the film because Jason, they actually showed parts where Jason is running. I like that. I
I
also
also
like that
like the fact that,
they skipped the
uh,
mother stuff pretty quickly.
which
So
is good, and
yeah,
I also like the fact that they also explained how Jason got to all these places.
yeah,
Like, my liked how like they had like the
like a tunnel.
tunnels, and also and people complain about this saying that Jason wanted to take somebody as hostage. Well, Jason only if he thinks that that person is is his mom.
Well, the thing is, we don't know what Jason would really do. I mean,
I mean, Jason is a fictional character anyway,
yeah, he could do anything.
but at the
And
same
this
time
is a
though,
remake, so
but at the same time though, you know,
it was
but at the same
completely.
time, though, it makes sense why he took that girl as hostage. It was because of the fact that he thought that, it was because of the fact and like that she reminded him of his mom, which does make sense.
Which is, you know what's a guilty pleasure of mine? People hate this movie, but Freddy versus
What?
Jason, I
Yeah,
I love it. I don't
people.
care what anybody says. Like,
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
flaws, obviously,
right.
but the fact
I
that
honestly feel the same way.
they were
I,
able
I,
to get these two on. First of all, when I first heard the film, I was like, how? How are you gonna have both of them fight each other? Because you have
right.
no
It's because
storyline, and I had no
one of
idea
them
what
is in
they
your
were.
dreams.
Yeah,
Well, one of them is not.
I had no idea that Freddy was gonna be able to bring Jason back and all this stuff, and I was like, what?
But yeah,
And then
you
Freddy,
know,
yeah,
I feel the same way. I mean, yeah, it has its problems, but honestly, it's a lot of fun to watch.
it's
It
so
has some
fun.
problems.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fun movie to
It's like,
watch.
yeah, like it's not bad and it's not good. I will give it that. But it's fun in the sense that, like, some movies you just want to relax and just watch and just tune off. And you could do it with those. And especially, it gives you the teenagers in the movie, and they got I love the dialogue of them trying to go. Who should we go after first, Jason or Freddy? Because they have to find. No, they can't go after both of them at the same time. So
Right,
I
and
thought it was stupid that they would go after Freddy first, though. I really thought that was
I
dumb.
do have to admit that I think that the original script that they had by the two writers, the original version sounded better
Oh, what was
than
original?
what they. Well, they talk about it a lot more in like the Friday the 13th documentary and the Nightmare documentary, but I mean, originally Freddy said like, "Hey," originally said, "Hey, Mama's boy," like that before that he let all those metal arrows like go through Jason.
Yeah.
But then in the final version, it's, "Hey, asshole." But yeah, it's just I think that the Mama's boy line was just a lot better because it makes more sense.
Okay, but I have a question, Eric. Who would you go after first? This is you in the real world. Freddy or Jason?
Well, it would be kind of intimidating to go after Jason because of the fact of how he's unkillable. Freddy, the fact that
I
he
don't think Freddy's
restrained.
killable either. Like, none of them are killable.
Hmm, That's a really, really good
Because
question.
we thought that Jason killed Freddy, but clearly at the end he winks, indicating he's still alive.
So therefore, I guess you could say that it was a tie.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I think that that was a wise decision to have it be a tie.
Well, of course they did a tie. They didn't want the two fan bases getting upset.
And I mean, that's the problem that happened with Jurassic Park 3 when the Spinosaurus killed the T-Rex. That was a really
As much
bad
as I
idea.
yeah, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, right? So much. But there are people, I think there are more fans of Friday the 13th for whatever reason. I don't understand it.
I I say that there's an equal amount, just my
Really?
own personal
You think so?
opinion.
Because I always tend to run into people who like that could be the case, but I always just tend to run into people who like
Maybe
Jason.
it's just the people who you just happen to run
Yeah.
into.
Why? What about you? How have you determined this?
Determine what?
That there's equal fans between
Well,
you.
it's I think it's just by all the people who I just came across about it.
Right,
I
right.
mean, I also know people like who like all franchises eat about equally the same, but I do have a friend in my personal life like who's more of a Freddy
Like,
fan
I'm
than
pretty sure
Halloween
Myers fan
and
is like,
Friday.
I'm pretty sure Myers fan is like Michael Myers. I forget both these guys.
But yeah, speaking of which, I remember back in 2011, I asked him to interview all the Nightmare movies.
Hmm.
I mean, that was back when he had his old account, and he gave a review of the first Nightmare, and he criticized how Freddy did magic tricks. I'm like, well, yeah, he's in the dream world,
You can do whatever.
right? He could do whatever. So
Yeah,
I really don't understand why that would be a criticism.
I don't know. I think
But yeah,
he was
I
just
mean, Myers
the
fans could be
first
illogical
Nightmare on Elm
anyway.
Street is first Nightmare on Elm Street is so good. You have to like look for stuff that you don't like.
Right. I mean, granted, some of the effects may be a little bit outdated, but I mean, of course, it was like what
For that time though, it was
1984,
pretty good.
so that's not really a criticism.
Yeah, I mean that it was filmed in the 80s, so
Well, where did I put that box set on Nightmare on Elm Street anyway? I have the box set for Friday,
Friday the
for
13th.
Friday the 13th. I have the box set for Halloween
Yeah.
and Chucky, but where did I put the box
I'm
set
surprised.
for?
You know what's funny about the Halloween box set took forever to come.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this took forever to finally come out. I mean, back then fans would have to buy each movie
Because
in the
different
individual
rights were owned by different like companies.
companies, which is why.
Yeah,
Shoot, where
which
did I put
pissed
this?
me off because I wanted Halloween like the box set earlier than I got it, and it was like you had to wait so long, and when it came, it was like finally.
Right, finally. I mean, it took them long enough, but at least that they finally made it happen. Shoot, I can't remember where I put that box set I have.
Isn't it owned by somebody else again, like Blumhouse? Who owns Halloween?
Halloween.
Yeah,
I think it's Blumhouse now, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. Shoot, now I'm stumped. Where did I put that?
Darnell Myers fan 25. He had such a stupid point when he said, "Do a Halloween after Resurrection." How? Like, what are you gonna talk about? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
that, and also honestly, business wise, that would not be a very good idea. It's because of how the fact that the mainstream media
Look at me
remembers the
blown up.
original Halloween more, and the fact that not that many people, I mean, not that many people, critics, audiences, and fans did not even like
First of all,
the
Halloween Resurrection was one of
rest.
the worst Halloween movies. So why would
Oh, it
you
was.
continue from that?
Which is funny because the fact that, like that Dave Mc, the funny thing is a lot like that Dave McRae actually recently did a rant on
It's
it.
so bad, Halloween Resurrection, because you know why? It feels like a teenage movie. Like it's just about teenagers. Like they're like doing like a live stream like we're doing right now, but they're in a house and
I mean, granted, the
Busta
whole
Rhymes is
idea.
playing Michael Myers.
I mean, the whole idea of a video stream with Michael Myers, it sounds like a cool idea, but they just didn't execute it well.
It did it horribly, and then there was like people were watching the stream and like partying, and it just made no sense. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like what you're gonna break. Oh, here it is. Here's the Nightmare box set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to look for it everywhere. I'm like, did I lose it or did somebody steal it?
Yeah.
I do own the remake. The
Mhm.
only reason why that I own it is only because I wanted to own all of them, but I'm probably never gonna watch it ever again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, and also Darnell, it would be too late to do a sequel to Resurrection anyway because it's been too long, and like the mainstream media does not even remember Resurrection.
That guy
So
has.
then,
I am so mad. He has way too many followers for.
oh yeah, he does. I mean, I think it's only because the fact that he has bugged people about it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, he does not deserve to have that many followers.
Yeah.
And Darnell actually used that against me when I stopped being friends with him. He was also saying, "Oh yeah, well I have more subscribers than you do," and I said,
I
"Okay."
remember a time where you had more. It's crazy, Eric. You had more than him, and you actually. So in your, I was looking at your old videos. It says Myers fan 25 sucks,
And
and you
what's
actually
funny,
mentioned the fact that you have more followers than him.
right? And what's funny is that that video is almost 10 years old, and people are still commenting on it.
Yeah, I saw
And
somebody comment on it like not that long ago. What's up with that?
right,
You look completely
and then
different. You're a
right, I did. I had longer hair and whatnot.
You had longer hair. Your videos were shot differently too.
Right. I mean, like that. Like I said, I mean, my video quality wasn't as good. It was because I was using a really old crappy camera that I had, and not my,
Mhm.
and not like my actual iPad or iPhone and whatnot. And
And that's the thing about Darnell. I couldn't even watch his videos because his would be horrible quality. Like even for like the worst type of quality you can get, you would do it in that.
oh yeah, and oh yeah, and then when somebody commented saying that on my channel, well, I
Mhm.
mean, on that video about Darnell, somebody left a comment saying, "Oh yeah, he has more subs than you do," and then and then I think that I made a really good comeback. It's because of how people were liking my reply more than the guy's comment. I said, the number of followers does not determine your, if you're a better person or not, because Adolf Hitler had millions of followers,
Oh my
while
god.
when Jesus had only 12.
I never even thought about it like that.
Burn.
Hmm.
But yeah, then after that, he didn't even say anything. And there were a few people who left comments, asking me what happened between Darnell and I. And me being the person who I am, I didn't sugarcoat it. I told them straight up about what really happened.
You
And
should
what's
do
funny,
like what pisses me off. Myers fan 25.
is that I actually did do that a long time ago, but because there was so much drama that happened afterwards, I decided to remove it.
Why'd you remove it?
Because there was just so much drama that happened because of it, and I just,
That's YouTube. YouTube is based on drama sometimes like
yeah,
that.
pretty much. I mean,
The thing is,
YouTube is pretty much where people come to debate about stuff like religion, politics, abortion, and
and
so
I
on.
get
So
that, like, but people like he didn't respect anybody's thing. That's why I don't get like
no, he did
me
not.
and
I
you could
mean,
talk, you could say Halloween's your favorite, and I could say Nightmare on Elm Street's my favorite, and you could see where I'm coming from, and I definitely
right.
see where you're coming from. But like, if you were talking to Myers fan, and let's just say I told him
He would
Nightmare on
argue
Elm
with you to the core.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, and he'd be talking about like this has nothing to do with Halloween. So why are we even talking?
Yeah, I mean, I remember there are times
He
back in
told me
his
Batman
Facebook group
sucks,
horror in
man.
Haddonfield. Yeah, in his group horror in Haddonfield, there were
What's
times
up,
when I
Butcher
would
the
post in
Bot?
there saying that
Hmm.
I was watching a John Carpenter movie like Christine, and then he would message me in comments saying, "Boo! John Carpenter sucks." It's like, dude, seriously, do you seriously have to act that way when I'm just trying to enjoy a movie?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and it's hypocritical because he says that he respects other people's opinions,
He
but I'm
doesn't.
sorry, action speaks so much louder than
Yeah,
words
no, I
do.
know. He commented so much on my past videos about uh movies and saying this movie sucks, and not even like a good reason, just because it's not Halloween. And it's like I know Halloween's a great
Yeah.
film, but it's not the only film made, and it's not even.
Right. It's like there's tons of other good movies out there.
Yeah, there's tons of other ones. Yeah.
But yeah, I just think he's just way too obsessed with Halloween. I mean,
Way too obsessed.
Granted, I'm a Halloween fan too, but
And the funny
not
thing is,
like that. I
it,
put it before everything in my life.
it this is crazy about Halloween. There's no character that represents Darnell. Like if I look at Michael Myers or I look at any of the teenagers, none of them look like him or act like him. So I don't get what he like.
Oh, now that you say that, I actually think I know of a character who represents
Who?
Darnell, but it's not a character who you would think of. I would think of it as like the comic book guy from the Simpsons, but a lot worse.
Wait, there's a character like that in Halloween?
Well, no. That's not what I meant. I
No,
was
no.
just saying like
Yeah,
that. You
I'm
know, if
saying no, Eric.
I was
I'm
just saying
saying
like the if Darnell were to have been a fictional character, I could definitely see him being like the comic book guy in the Simpsons.
I'm saying when you watch Halloween and you look at the characters and you look at Michael Myers or anybody, none of them act like Darnell. I don't see like what his obsession is with the film. That's why I don't see what his obsession is with the film.
Yeah, I mean, he's so obsessed with it like that.
He doesn't
He'll
even
actually
like
make it
he
personal.
doesn't like anybody in the film. He doesn't like Laurie Strode, he says. He doesn't like Jimmy Lee Curtis, and he doesn't like John Carpenter. Those are the two
And
main people of the movie.
which makes no sense because he says that the reasons why he likes Halloween 6 is because it reminds him of the first one.
I wish we could get him in here just so I could hear why he likes Halloween. Because honestly, I never like I watched his videos, and every time I watched his videos, he would be complaining about something. And it's like, you like
That's all
Halloween?
he does is complain. And I actually read a study
Yeah,
that says that a sign of a toxic person is that they complain a lot.
exactly.
And because he complains a lot, bingo.
Hmm. Yeah, the thing is, he would talk about how much he loves Halloween, right? But then he would
Which we
complain.
all get it.
Yeah, we all get Halloween's a great film, but he wouldn't talk about like. Then he would hate on the people that made the movie. Makes no sense. Like what?
Yeah, it's like that. He would make it into like a right or wrong, and like that. He would make it into a moral argument, whether or not if they're good people or not. It's like Darnell. You don't need to make a series of slasher movies so personal.
Like I get that his name is Myers fan, but doesn't mean that he has to just like Michael Myers and nobody else.
But yeah, I just think that he's just way too obsessed with it.
Yeah,
Way too obsessed. I mean, he's so obsessed where he lets it take over his life.
yeah, it's really bad. Uh,
I mean, he's so obsessed, which is why I think that he doesn't even have any real life friends. The only friends that he has are internet friends. Which
yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having internet friends. I mean, you and I are internet
yes,
friends,
exactly, yes.
but it's just that
But
he
see, when we
just
talk about movies, we don't keep it to one thing. We like to talk
right.
about
We
other
mix it
stuff.
up.
Hmm.
But Darnell, it's like only Halloween.
Yeah, I can't do that. Like the thing is like I don't get how he doesn't get sick and tired of just talking about that film.
Which is why I think he has severe autism. But
Mhm.
but I mean, I would need to have like and I would need to have like an actual diagnosis from like a medical doctor like to actually prove it. But it's
Mhm.
just that he's just giving me a lot of cues like that he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that we've talked about Darnell
Yeah, we
enough.
talk about Darnell way too much. It's just the fact that it gets me mad when I look at my old videos and I see comments like, "Oh, Batman sucks because it's not Halloween or whatever." But yeah.
Yeah, and and one stupid reason that he gave for why the Dark Knight sucks is that he said that the Joker shoved a pencil in someone's nose. I'm like, no, it wasn't in his nose, it was in his eye.
It doesn't even get the facts correct.
I'm like, did
So,
you even see the movie?
okay, so Nightmare on Elm Street, do you want them to remake or not remake? Well, if you had the final say, what would you say?
I
I
would
would
make it
say,
a reboot.
I mean,
I
reboot.
would make it different from the other movies
Hmm.
that just to spice things up and make it different. I mean,
Yeah.
of
How would
course,
you make it different? In what way?
like I said before, I would base it on some of like the books. I think that the books give some really interesting source material to work with, like about how those high school girls used, and like would use Freddy like to get back at some of the bullies, and then and then that backfires on them. I think that would be really interesting to see in a movie, or maybe do some other stuff, or maybe use some of the other books as a source material. Or I also like the idea that they had the original idea they had for part six, like where people would go into the dream world just to go beat up Freddy. I thought that that was a really interesting idea.
Hmm.
But if they want to make Freddy scary again, I don't think that they should go that route, even though it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would try to do something different, but at the same time though, still keep like the whole aspect of Nightmare on Elm Street. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, like keep like the whole feel of it, but just the but it's just gonna be I mean, it's just gonna be a really big deal about who they cast as the new Freddy.
That's the thing, and they got to be careful because,
That can either make the movie or
yeah,
can
the
destroy it.
the first thing they got to do is they don't have to have the same look as Robert England, but they
Right.
got to have a look that's kind of like similar. And getting a look for Freddy is very hard
It is.
because every time we think of Freddy, we think of Robert England.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so I'd hope that they could get somebody who looks kind of like him. Like you said, Hugo Weaving. I thought that was a perfect choice.
I can see that. Somebody once even said Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I don't really like that idea, but
I mean, it would just be too distracting. I mean,
I don't find Jim Carrey really threatening either. It's so
it's just hard to, not. It's just hard to not, put a smile on your face when you see him.
yeah. I
But
love
I
Jim
mean,
Carrey
Jim
though.
Carrey
Jim
hasn't
Carrey
done a
is one
horror
of my
film
favorite. Jim Carrey
before,
is.
though.
It's so hard to say no to Jim Carrey because he's just one of my favorite actors. But I'd say
Right.
no.
But as Freddy,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just because it's
I'm
Freddy
sorry,
Krueger.
but it would be hard to take him seriously.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
I would
mean,
say yeah, but I don't know. I would say yes, but I would say they would have to take some years on this. Like it just
I
can't be
mean,
like
could I see him doing the evil smile? Sure, but it's just,
who is
I mean,
who's your director of choice for the movie?
oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
I think it would be cool to see John Carpenter do it. That would be interesting.
that'd be like an homage to like. I don't think John Carpenter is directing films. Like
Yeah, no,
he's just
I think that
producing
he's
them.
pretty much done at this point. But
Yeah, that's why I said James Wan because
yeah, James Wan,
he's done so many good horror films. He's the
he
new
has.
guy for our generation, I think.
Oh shoot. I can see it being Mike Flanagan, who did
Yeah, Flanagan.
Hush.
Yeah, I seen that movie. That was actually pretty good. I wouldn't be
That
against
it
that.
was. I loved Hush.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can see it being him. I can see it being Alexandra Aja, who I think did a great job with the Hills Have Eyes remake. I'm trying to look around in my collection, just trying to get some ideas. Maybe the guy who did the It remake. I forgot his name.
Oh, he was good too. Yeah, I don't know
He
his.
also did. And he also did Mama.
Hmm.
Um, I remember an old friend of mine said that Wes Craven should do it. I mean,
What?
well, I mean, you have to. I mean, you have to keep in perspective. Like that was before he died.
Okay,
So
I'm like, wait, he's dead.
right, it's like,
My number one
yeah,
choice was
obviously he can't do it now, but
obviously if he was alive, and they said Wes Craven, I would be like, go ahead, because this is his thing, and he
yeah,
created.
I mean, obviously now he can't.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I'm really trying to think.
Hmm.
Uh, Man, this is kind of hard to pick because that's gonna be, that's really gonna matter, who they get to direct.
Yeah. It really.
Uh,
The thing is the directing, but it's got to be somebody who's done a horror film also.
right, somebody who has experience, but at the same time, though,
I even
maybe
think the guy who did Halloween 2018 could do it. Like he did a pretty good job with that film.
right. And what's funny is that actually was his first horror film,
Yeah,
and that
but now
before then
I
he was
think
known
that
for doing Pineapple Express. So I don't think it would have to be somebody who has. I mean, I think that the experience could help, yeah, but maybe it doesn't have to strictly
well, I'm saying
be
now he's
that.
got some experience by doing Halloween
Right. But yeah,
because doing
they could go
Halloween,
with him.
yeah, doing Halloween correctly was a big risk that they took. Um,
It definitely was.
the fact that they thought about it, like let's make it a sequel to the first one instead of
And ignore all
remaking.
of the other sequels,
Yeah, and
which
let's remove Laurie as the sister. Like they did a lot of stuff that was very smart for them in that way.
it was.
Yeah.
Um, Shoot, I'm having a tough time coming up with who can direct it. Shoot, man, this is a lot harder than I thought.
There's only a handful of directors that would probably be able to do it.
Yeah, Mike Flanagan, I think would be a good choice. Like I said,
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good choice.
yeah, oh, I think that maybe they could get Chuck Russell, but yeah, I mean, but I mean, he
Chuck
already
Russell.
did.
What did Chuck Russell do? I don't.
He did the 1988 Blob remake, and he also
Oh.
did Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I think that because he's already done a Nightmare movie, I think that they should let somebody who hasn't done a Nightmare
Hmm.
film do it.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, honestly, I can't think of anybody else. It's just too hard to think of anything.
Hmm.
Yeah, oh yeah, so how do you feel about the Child's Play remake? I think that we've talked about Freddy enough
Yeah, we
now.
talked about him a lot. But it's good because, like I said, it's my favorite, so I have no problem with that. Child,
Right, and it's one of my favorites too.
yeah. So Child's Play. This is tricky because I don't know. I'm not a big Chucky fan. I don't know if you are. You tell me. Are you a big Chucky fan, Eric?
I am. I mean, uh, and what's funny is that shit, I just lost my train of thought.
Hmm.
Yeah, shit, I just lost my train of thought, and now I kind of feel
So, how do you feel
feel.
that they're calling it Child's Play again?
Well, I do miss that title.
Yeah, but the fact that like they already called it Child's Play, now you'd be confused.
Well, this one's a remake, so that's why. But
Yeah, but
isn't it weird how Chucky is now an
Mhm.
artificially intelligent doll now? Like that, he's not possessed by Charles Lee Ray. I mean, granted, I mean, I do think that
Yeah,
will make it different from the original.
I think that's what they're trying to do is make it a little bit different than the original.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. But it's just, you know, um, but if they make it too different, then then what's the point? But it's just that
Mhm.
that's just gonna be very touchy to pull off, and it looks like
I don't
from our
honestly, I didn't think they needed to remake this one.
I really don't think that they did either.
uh like they already made a lot of sequels to it too, like Child's Play. They got ridiculously dumb with like Bride of Chucky and
I
uh
mean, to be honest with you, Bride of Chucky is like a guilty pleasure of mine.
yeah. But you
But
know it's
see
not.
the Chucky, that one's just so bad. It's just bad.
Oh, Sita Chucky was horrible, yeah.
Curse of Chucky, I like it, but it has its problems. Cult of Chucky,
You see, this is the problem. I
it
can't
was
tell.
okay.
Can you tell the order? Like, it's hard to tell the order for me. Like, I don't. Do you know the order, like, off the top of your head?
The Order of what?
Chucky movies.
Yeah, Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, and Cult of Chucky.
Oh wow, you got it. Okay, because for me, I always have an issue with the Chucky films and the ordering. After the Child's Play, obviously the numbers, then it goes into
They
like
stopped doing that.
yeah, they stopped doing that, and I hate that. If you're gonna like, that's the thing I liked about Halloween, just because they put Halloween 4, so I know it's Return of Mike Myers. Okay, it's the fourth one, whatever.
But then, but then they stopped numbering them once they got to 6, and then they sort of
No,
numbered
but
it again with
they
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
stopped numbering them, but when it got to 6, I don't know, it was just like it was easy to remember that was 6 for some reason. So
But yeah.
I'm not a
And
big
what's funny
Chucky
about some of
fan.
the Halloween titles,
Yeah,
what's funny is that 4, 5, and 6 have the same subtitles as some of like the Pink Panther films.
yeah, they do. That's what was so funny. The Revenge of Pink Panther and the
Right. Return, Revenge, and Curse.
of course, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be weird to not have Brad Dourif doing the voice of Chucky anymore.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask you about that. How you felt?
Yeah,
How you felt about?
just
How you
who
felt
are they
with?
gonna get to voice Chucky?
How? Yeah, how you feel about that?
I don't know. It's gonna be weird. And from my understanding, Brad Dourif and the girl who played Kyle in Child's Play 2 and Don Mancini, they're not happy with this remake at all.
Hmm.
They're actually pretty pissed about it.
Who's not happy with it?
Uh, Don Mancini, Brad Dourif, and the girl who played Kyle in Child's Play 2.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're all pissed about it.
Yeah.
And the girl who played Kyle. There's their live video, and so far it says that only two people are watching, and I guess you can count me as the second person.
It's just.
Which is funny.
Yeah.
It's because that I'm watching it while when her actually doing it.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, from my understanding, it's gonna have more of like a Stranger Things vibe, where it's like Andy and his friends.
Oh man, come on! I don't want to see that.
Uh, yeah, I just think that I just that's just hard for me to picture with Child's Play.
Yeah,
But just I just think that this movie is just really unnecessary.
that's what I'm saying. Unnecessary. I'm not a big. I mean, I know you like Chucky, so I'd like to hear
I
you.
mean, Chucky's not my favorite, but I
Obviously,
do like, but I do like the
I like.
movies, and
Okay, so this
an
is. I like
interesting
the
bit of
original Child's Play and Child's Play 2. But then I think after that, I saw them, but I just didn't like them as much. Like,
I like 1 through 3. I can have fun with 4. 6 I like, but it's not
the fact
perfect.
that it's a doll, though, like a doll, like I get, like Annabelle was good too, but it's just I don't know something about Chucky.
Yeah, speaking of which, somebody said that they think it would be a good crossover for Chucky versus Annabelle.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting, but it's not the same because Annabelle's like a demon kind of.
Right, and Chucky actually walks and talks and so and so. It would be a weird matchup, but I think it'd be a better fit if it was Leprechaun versus Chucky.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, did you see Leprechaun Returns?
No, I did not see that movie.
I saw that John Ferrer did a What Pisses Me Off episode on it. He said it was horrible, but I'm like, well, what did you expect? I mean, the other films weren't that good either.
I like how that's the guy who's gonna do Lion King. Like he was just talking about that, and then he's like, I'm gonna take the biggest risk of all.
Yeah, I mean, if he messes up Lion King, John Favreau, his his career will be no more.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's like one of the biggest risks that any filmmaker could ever take.
Mhm.
I mean, that's like saying that you're going to remake The Godfather. I mean, there's going to be so much pressure on your part.
Yeah. Yeah, how come like they've never ever tried to remake those movies? Like not that I want that to happen.
Right.
They
So
never
it's okay
ever
for them to
tried.
remake Lion King, but not The
Nobody, yeah,
Godfather?
yeah, nobody's ever tried to make The Godfather, and The Godfather is older. Like came out in the 70s.
Right. And that both of them are both on like the top 250 list on IMDb.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Godfather is higher, but I mean, but the bottom line is like that they both are on there.
Yeah. But more, I don't know. Lion King is just transcendent film. Uh the fact that they're remaking it, I can't get over it. It's so blasphemous to me.
It is.
If I was
It
them, I
really
would have
is.
just said no. I don't want to do that. Like I don't know.
And man, the thing that kind of made me mad. I mean, not so much about the filmmakers making the movie. I mean, this is another story. A friend of mine just shared the trailer for the movie. She was saying how she was all excited, and all that I did, I just stated my honest opinion, saying that I just think that the movie just doesn't need to happen. It's just unnecessary. And then she was all saying about how I need to just leave her alone and just let her be excited for the movie. I'm like, I never said that you can't be excited for the movie. I'm just saying my opinion that you
That's the
know
misconception. The misconception is that everybody thinks we want this movie to
to
fail.
fail. I mean, no, that's not at all the case. It's just
We
that
no.
it's
This is
because the
just
Lion
like
King is just so
the
sacred to
yeah. It's
people's
just
hearts.
I would say Lion King and Aladdin are very like they're childhood movies. There's something we grew up with, and to see them, it's kind of cool that we can see them. But the thing is, if they do it wrong, it just hurts.
Right. Right. It's like if they do it wrong, it just kind of feels like that they hurt our childhood. I mean, even though, of course, like that, we'll always have our childhood.
Yeah. But then also people will get confused too in the future.
Right.
Which
Thinking,
Lion
oh,
King
do
are
you
you
mean the
talking about?
remake or the
2019 or
original? And I mean, obviously, I love Lion King so much. Like that, I named my own dog after the main
yeah,
character.
you do a reboot if you're gonna add something new or whatever. But if it's the same exact film, that's gonna be stupid.
Which was one problem I had with the live action Beauty and
Yeah.
the Beast, like I have here. I mean, granted, at least it stayed true to the source material, but just I mean, and they did add a few new cool things to it, like that they fixed one of the plot holes from the original about how old the Beast was when he got cursed.
Hmm.
But they also added a few new plot holes about like that whole magical book that can take her to anywhere that Belle wants her to go. Okay, then if that's the case, then why didn't just the Beast use that book before, to go like to prevent him from being the Beast in the first place. So so it also creates some new plot holes. I also didn't like the look of the Beast in the original. I didn't like the guy who they got to play the Beast. I thought that Emma Watson was severely miscast as Belle. I mean, for Pete's sake, she can't even sing, and she's in a musical.
Hmm.
And it's just the original Beauty and the Beast is just so much better.
Yeah, no, I
Did you
agree.
see the remake of Beauty and the Beast?
No, I didn't see the remake, but I remember you describing it last time we went live, and you were very vivid about it, and you were saying the issues that you had with it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't awful,
Yeah,
but the original's so much better.
right, right.
I mean, even though that the original has its plot holes that were fixed in the remake, but even then, fixing those plot holes in the remake, it just couldn't save the remake.
Hmm.
It just couldn't at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, interesting bit of trivia.
Okay.
You know the part when Gaston in the original Beauty and the Beast, like where he falls like to his death.
Hmm.
If you pause it just at the right moment, you can see that there is a skull right on Gaston's eye.
What? Why is there a
Yeah,
skull?
which I think is really interesting, and it's actually kind of creepy if you think about it.
Hmm.
It's because I think that skull pretty much represents that he's gonna die. Which I mean, obviously he did because he fell, like from great to distance. But yeah, it's like, why would you cast somebody who can't sing in a musical?
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like, if she can't sing, can't you at least dub her?
Well, I don't. This is what I hate about Disney. They've gotten lazy. Honestly,
Oh yes, they have.
they've gotten so lazy. They're just remaking their own stuff, and they're barely coming out with new material. And they could do it because they did it. Like, I don't know. I don't like Frozen that much, but it was something
It's
new.
overhyped.
Yeah, but it was something new at least. That's what I'm saying. Is whatever they created a story. They need to do more of that instead of just trying to like churn out the same stuff. You know?
Right, and I mean, that's what they did with Zootopia. I mean, Zootopia was original, and it still made a lot of money. And even Big Hero 6, Moana, I mean, even their original stuff is making money. It's
Yeah.
like, what? Are you just, like that greedy?
Right. Right.
I mean, heck, you own Star Wars, you own
That's the
20th
thing.
Century
That's why
Fox, you
Eric.
own ESPN. It's like you have enough money.
This is the problem. They got lazy when they bought all that stuff. It was kind of a bad thing in a way. Now they have all this other stuff, and they just got lazy, just doing remake and remake after another, and making these Star Wars origin films that nobody really cares about.
Like, yeah, like the Han Solo movie.
That's what I was getting to. Yeah, the Han Solo movie. Like nobody really asked for that, and then I heard
And
it wasn't even
that's
good.
why I didn't bother seeing it in theaters. I've seen, starting from episode 2, I've seen everyone in theaters since then.
Mhm.
But I just wasn't interested in Han Solo, that I just didn't even bother with it. It's like, you know, it just looks mediocre, and I don't want something that's just
Mhm.
mediocre. It's because why in the world would I want something that's mediocre? I want something good.
Yeah.
It's like if you go to a restaurant, you want a good meal. You don't want just a okay meal.
Right. Exactly. Yes. The thing is Disney, and the thing, okay, even though they bought all that stuff, they should have still created their own content. But they're not creating anything new. They're just a lot of their stuff.
Recycling the same crap.
Yeah, exactly the same stuff, and they've become the biggest movie like producing company. But
I mean,
where's the new content? They should definitely create more new content. And when they do create new content, it's very bad. Like The Last Jedi, that movie was horrible.
I think that the prequels were worse, but even then, Last Jedi was still.
I think Last Jedi is honestly the worst Star Wars film. I I can't even rewatch it. Like I tried rewatching it, I couldn't.
I can't rewatch it either, just because it's just so boring to watch.
It's
But
boring to okay, let me tell you all the flaws I think that it has. It's boring to watch. They killed Luke Skywalker and they made him boring too. This guy's supposed to be one of the most interesting people, but he went through the cliche like everybody else. Like, oh, I hate when he's like, I'm not gonna train you and blah blah blah. Ray and what's his name?
Kylo
Kylo
Ren.
Ren. I don't know where they got their connection from. I get there's the Force. Oh, not even to mention Leia, who was supposed to die in space. Somehow, Superman's her way back onto the
Yeah, when I saw that in theaters, I was like, "What in the heck?" I mean, it's like, so what? So is Leia now Mary Poppins?
Yeah, it was basically Mary Poppins in space. Um,
And it's sad to think that that's now Carrie Fisher's last film.
Actually, it's not Eric. So they said that they actually filmed some scenes in the next last movie before she passed away.
Well, that's not really what I meant. I mean, it's like the last movie that she filmed.
Oh
Spoiler
yeah.
for episode 9. It's just like old scenes that they haven't used.
Hmm.
But yeah, so technically episode 9 will be her last movie, but it's just honestly, it's just kind of hard for me to get excited about episode 9.
Yeah, like I said, the only reason why I'm excited is J.J. Abrams.
Yes. Thank God it's not Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, the thing is, I liked the seventh movie,
I
Force Awakens. I thought it was
I did
very
too.
good.
Honestly, I would way rather watch that any day than Last Jedi.
There was so many. The thing, this is also something that pissed me off about Star Wars. They have this guy Finn, who could be one of the most interesting characters, and when I say that, is because he was a stormtrooper
Right.
who was, stormtroopers are inherently bad. They just follow orders, whatever. But he was
Right, and
able to like completely go the opposite way, and they did nothing with his character. They killed Snoke.
there was so much potential with that.
Yeah, and they killed Snoke, which I hope is like he's still alive somehow or something because we never got to know who he was.
That reminds me. So I remember that an old coworker and I were talking about that back when Last Jedi first came out. I mean, granted, we don't work with each other anymore, but he made the point that maybe that they can make a spin-off movie about him and his character. But judging how the Han Solo movie did, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't want a spin-off. I just want him in the movie and I want them to develop his character. They didn't develop him. They didn't even like they should have showed more of him and explained where he came from.
Yeah, even though the Ryan Johnson did a good movie before Last Jedi,
Yeah.
but clearly he was not the right choice. I mean, yes, he did make a good movie, but just because he made a good movie, it won't automatically mean that he's the right guy for the job.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is how important is the fit. J.J. Abrams was the perfect fit for this because he did Star Trek and he made Star Trek pretty good. And also the fact that like Star Trek and Star Wars, they're kind of like they have similar kind of things going on. They're very
Right.
different in a way, but they're similar as well. So and then he did Force Awakens, and then I don't know why he didn't do. I guess he didn't want to do the next film or whatever, or they didn't want him to do the next film. So I'm hoping, like I was honestly, if I saw any other director besides J.J. Abrams, I probably would not have been that excited, and I'm still not as excited because Last Jedi was so bad. Which is funny because usually the second movie in the Star Wars, like Empire Strikes Back, was amazing. I think that's
That it was.
the best Star Wars movie in my opinion. Um,
My personal favorite is Return of
Yeah,
the
I
Jedi.
am so surprised to hear that. Not that I don't think that's a great film. I do like it, but everybody
I
like,
do understand why people have their problems with it, but it's my favorite because of the fact that I love how Darth Vader comes to the light side again and that he saves his son. You know,
yeah.
that's why, at least to me, why Return of the Jedi is my favorite.
Hmm.
But yeah, I also do like the Empire Strikes Back. I mean, of course, that was a masterpiece. But yeah, but I lean more towards Return of the Jedi.
Hmm.
And I absolutely refuse to buy the Blu-rays of the original trilogy. Is just because I just hate all the changes that they made.
Oh, like Greedo shooting first.
Yeah, Greedo shooting first, which is actually the only reason why that I bought a
But
VHS
this
player.
this is the thing that's so funny about the Greedo shooting. It's such a small scene, but
And that there's
people
so much controversy about it.
there's so much controversy and it doesn't really deserve it. Who cares if he shot first? The only thing that matters is that Han shot him dead. That's all that matters.
Right, and that he was doing it for survival.
Yeah.
And that there's one change that they made where it's so cringeworthy where he just casually dodges a
Oh
bullet at
yes.
his neck. I'm like, who dodges a bullet just that casually at their neck?
I I honestly that's a
Like
scene that
really?
I actually like, Eric, because it's so funny how bad it is.
Right. I mean, that's one of the worst changes I've ever seen in the Star Wars trilogy.
It's
I
like
mean, it's very minor, but it's so
it's
cringeworthy.
so bad that it's good kind of thing for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh my lord, like somebody could just
Like
casually dodge a
Arnold
bullet to the
Schwarzenegger
neck like
and
that. Like, oh, I'm just gonna dodge a bullet. It's no big deal.
yeah, like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Batman and Robin. Like he's so bad, but he's so good at the same time because he's so
Right.
bad.
or or when they changed in Return of the Jedi that Darth Vader screams no.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
It's like you ruined you ruined a beautiful moment in the original Return of the Jedi where he was silent and you now have him scream no.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, Return of the Jedi, that was the one that got it the
What are
absolute
they
worst
calling?
in the special
What are they?
edition versions.
What are they calling the Star Wars Episode 9? What are they
I
calling?
really have no idea.
I just see Episode 9. I guess they don't have
A
a
title
title.
yet. There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of baggage with the new movie, especially compared to how Han Solo didn't do well at the box office, and Last Jedi was a very divisive movie. I mean, when that movie came out, there was so much arguing about that movie.
About Han Solo? What was the argument?
The arguing about Last Jedi, about about how some fans liked it, some fans hated it, and
Oh, Last Jedi. I don't know. I don't know a single person that likes that film, to be honest. No, wait.
I
Actually, I know one person that likes it. Like most people I know hate that film. Or if they don't hate it,
mean, I do have a coworker who likes it, and
it's
we met in a
okay. It's okay if they like it, but
right. It's okay.
I'm always just curious to why they like it because I don't see many reasons to like the film. I was very excited to watch it, Eric. Very excited because
I
Force
also
Awakens
was.
was so good, and then I was like, okay. And I know they switched directors, but sometimes if you switch directors, doesn't mean anything. But in this film, it meant everything. It was the tone. It was the way the action was. Everything was just off.
And to be honest with you, when I first saw it, I said that I liked it, but here's the thing. I said it in a way like, "Oh, I liked it,"
It was
rather
more,
than saying, "Oh yeah,
yeah.
I liked it." When I first saw it, when I said I liked it, I said it in a way that I wasn't so sure if I did or not.
Exactly.
And then, the more I thought about it, I was like, I'm sorry, but this is just not a good Star Wars movie.
Honestly, like I said, it's the worst in my opinion because I can look at any other Star Wars. The only one that I think that can say is equally as bad is Episode 2. Everyone likes to say Episode 1, but I think Episode 1 wasn't that bad because I remember
Episode 2 was horrible. I mean,
Episode 2 was really bad, but Episode 1 was pretty good. Not good, but I mean like compared to these two
well,
because
so here's the funny thing about Episode 2.
Mhm.
I saw that one in theaters with my mom when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And when you're a kid, you hear like almost anything, right?
Mhm.
And so, even when I saw Episode 2 as a kid in theaters with my mom, both of us agreed that, yeah, it wasn't very good. Some of the acting was just not that very good. Some of the dialogue was cringe-worthily terrible with Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman. Like some of their cheesy, like romance lines, and just
Well, yeah, that was the thing was their level's supposed to be forbidden also, so that was another dumb thing they had in Star Wars. The episodes 1 to 3. So the whole thing was like Jedi's are not supposed to show emotions, you know? So that
so
was
I guess maybe that was just George's excuse for the horrible, horrible acting.
yeah, maybe I don't know. Uh, so yeah, between Last Jedi and the second one, I think maybe the second one is a little worse. I can't really remember the second one that much because it was that bad.
The only thing I can remember was the only thing that I can't remember like was Count Dooku and Hayden
Oh, Count
Christensen's
Dooku.
weird
So funny
ponytail
that
like
Count Dooku was
hairstyle.
played by such a good actor, but I did not like Count Dooku that much.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I had a friend back in elementary school who was so obsessed with Star Wars like that. He wanted to have the same haircut that Hayden Christensen did in episode 2.
What the Who wants that?
Well, apparently he did because he was so obsessed with Star Wars like that he wanted the same haircut
His
from
haircut was
episode 2.
horrible. His Oh my god, his hair was so annoying in episode 2. I remember his hair in that movie.
With that weird ponytail. I
I hate
mean,
yes.
it was kind of distracting to be honest with you.
No, I didn't like it. That was one thing I hated about that film.
I mean, it looked a lot better in the third
In the
one.
third movie, Hayden Christensen actually did an okay job. Like
The third one is the best of the
the
trilogy,
best
but
of the three, yeah.
it's still has its cringeworthy moments. Like some of the dialogue is still really, really bad.
But the action scenes in the third one are really
Oh
good.
yeah, the action was good,
The
and it's
action,
just
the fight between him and Obi-Wan, I can watch that anytime. You put that
that
on,
was awesome. Yeah, that
yeah.
was awesome. But I
But like,
also didn't like how we finally got Darth Vader back, and all that he did was just pretty much yell no.
yeah, that's all we got from him. I agree with you that like storyline was kind of stupid. Also, didn't like how predictable it was. Like, oh, nobody listens to Anakin, so he's gonna become evil. Like,
I do have to admit, it was pretty ballsy, like when they had him kill all of those kids.
yeah,
That was ballsy.
that just made no sense though. Like, why did he do that? Like, I got that
Maybe
he
because
was.
that he turned to the dark side. Maybe that's why.
I know that he turned. I get that, but no other like Sith Lord ever did that. Like, just go and like there would
Not that I know of, but at least that they didn't actually show
like the thing
kids being
was
killed.
that like his first thing was all right. I'm gonna go kill the kids. Like what?
Which nowadays I don't think that they could get away with that.
That would
Especially
not
after
fly.
the
That would not
Sandy
fly.
Hook
Right?
shooting.
Hell no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There's no way that they could
that
have
would
gotten away
not
with that after
work
Sandy
at
Hook.
all. I did like how he had the hood on and his eye. He looked really cool in Revenge of the Sith. I was about to say Return of the Jedi for some reason. No. Yeah. So if you had to rank it, I guess for you it'd be Return of the Jedi,
Empire,
Empire.
original Star Wars.
Also, you went like backwards
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
in the original. Okay, so out of the new trilogy, when I say new, I don't mean this one that we have because it's still not finished. Um, but
You mean episodes 1,
you
2,
know, the
and
one with Hayden Christensen.
3?
How would you rank it?
Well, I would, as far as the prequels go, I would definitely go 3, even though
You
I,
want two?
uh, shoot, 2 and 1 are both pretty bad.
Yeah, but one has Qui-Gon. It has more Obi-Wan,
Darth Maul.
and it has Darth. I was gonna get to that. It has Darth Maul, and that fight at the end is pretty good.
Oh yeah, speaking of episode 1, so I saw this documentary and I felt really bad for him. So the actor who played Jar Jar Binks,
Mm-hmm.
he got so much hate for being Jar Jar Binks, like that. It actually made him feel really, 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 really depressed, and he actually wanted to commit suicide.
Oh shit!
It's like, ouch. It's like, I understand that fans didn't like his character, but it's like, it's not the actor's fault. I mean, the actor was just doing his job. I mean, it's not the actor's fault. Jar Jar like was pretty much like was all George's fault.
Yeah,
And after he's seen that documentary, it made me like not want to hate on Jar Jar anymore.
I'm sorry, Eric. I agree with you on that. Like, it's sad, but Jar Jar was one of the worst things in that movie.
Yeah, he was. I mean, granted, I'm gonna cut the actor like a lot of slack because it
Well, of
wasn't his
course,
fault.
it's not the actor's fault. No, you know whose fault it is? George Lucas, because he wrote that horrible, horrible script for Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, because he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, that
But yeah, and I mean, it is really sad that he tried to commit suicide. And it was all because a bunch of
honestly
fans
though,
were hating on
Jar
him.
Jar Jar has people actually like Jar Jar in a way. Like they hate him, but he's like that so bad it's good kind of. Like I know people that talk about Jar Jar in a way that they like quote him. Now I don't know if that's to make fun of him or whatever, but they quote him.
But yeah, but it's just honestly now, just but just I just honestly just can't hate on Jar Jar anymore. It's just after seeing that documentary,
You see, Eric, what you did to
it made me
yourself?
feel really, really bad for that guy.
Eric looks like his life got destroyed. He's like, I can't make fun of Jar Jar. What will I make fun of now?
Well, it's like after watching that documentary, I just feel really, really bad for that guy.
Well, the thing is, it's not the actor's fault. It's just the character was
I know that, but
the
yeah,
act.
it's just
Like this is
there
the
are
thing.
definitely some toxic fans in the
As
Star Wars
bad
franchise.
as any actor is, or any actress, or whoever, we don't ever hate the actual person who does it. We probably
Right.
hate the character, but I have no personal beef with anybody who's played any role. Like because that's their job and that's what they were chosen to do, you know?
Right, and
It's not Jar Jar. It's not his fault that Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be played that way, and he did his job.
yeah, and I mean, I remember that I liked Jar Jar when I was a kid, but I mean, I think that was the whole point to Jar Jar Binks
Hmm.
is that he was just supposed to appeal to the kids, but
Some people were saying that he was kind of a racist character.
it's been so long ever since I've seen episode 1 that I would need to rewatch it. That I don't even remember him even being racist, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't know. Somebody was telling me that.
But yeah, but one of the best parts of the movie was like the song "Duel of the Fates."
Oh, okay.
Dana 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 dana.
Yeah, yeah, that was a catchy theme.
Oh, that it was.
The first Star Wars is bad, but I would say it's the third worst. So yeah, um, there's between Last Jedi and the second Star Wars for me. Then that one would be the
Yeah, for me, I I guess I'll go episode 3, 1, and 2.
yeah. That's what I said. Episode 3, 1, and 2.
But yeah, 2 is.
2 is god awful.
I mean, I can't even watch it again because it's just that unwatchable.
I remember I was excited because I was like, I could rewatch episode 2. And then I was like, oh wait, I remember why I don't like this film.
Right.
It's just
Hey,
so
granted, you know,
slow.
like I thought the Count Dooku was cool, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I didn't like that other guy with like the six.
I
Like
also thought that Samuel L. Jackson's character. I also liked his character.
his character was cool, but he died the saddest way, man.
Well, Samuel L. Jackson said that he wants to come back because technically you don't see his character die.
Oh come on, he fell off a cliff and he got electrocuted too. Like,
Yeah, but maybe he might have survived somehow.
I liked how
Maybe.
Samuel L was like, I want a purple lightsaber, and they're like, okay, like nobody else has a purple lightsaber, but you get.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is cool to think that Samuel L. Jackson has been in a lot of big name franchises. Like he was in Jurassic Park, he was in Star Wars,
Yeah.
he was in Kong Skull Island. He was
But in Jurassic Park, he was a small character.
Yeah, he was,
He
but
wasn't like one of the main guys, but yeah, he was in the film.
shoot, I'm trying to remember which other franchises that he has been in. Oh yeah, and I mean, of course, Samuel L. Jackson is in the Avengers.
Yeah, he's Nick Fury, but
What
like
else has he been in?
even in Avengers, he's not really that famous. Like he just.
He also was in Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, Pulp Fiction was amazing.
He also was in Snakes on a Plane. I'm tired of these
Oh my
motherfucking
god,
things on this motherfucking plane.
I did not like that movie.
I actually have never even seen it.
So there you go. That tells you all you need to know about that. I'm really surprised you haven't seen it, Eric.
Well, it sounds like a movie that I would watch.
No, I feel like you'd watch it and you get bored. It's boring, man, to be honest. Like the part that you said is like the best part in the whole movie.
A movie about snakes on a plane is boring. I'm like, how do you make that boring?
Watch it, you'll see what I mean. Yeah. Hopefully they don't like they stop remaking and start making new ideas. I want to see more new ideas.
Right. It's kind of like what we said last time about dinosaur movies.
Yeah, that Jurassic
The
Park.
only dinosaur movies that we get are Jurassic Park and Jurassic.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to Land Before Time and all these other ones?
Oh yeah, so that reminds me. So I actually brought this up in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. Wouldn't it be kind of interesting to see a live action, like a kind of like what they're doing with Lion King, where it's CGI but it looks realistic? What if they did that with The Land Before Time?
That'd be interesting.
I mean, granted, Land Before Time is a classic and it doesn't need a remake, but what if?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be cool to see
I
the
don't
T-Rex
get
and
instead
look
of
more
remaking
realistic.
instead of remaking some of these films, why don't they do like a sequel?
Right, like I mean, granted, Land Before Time does not need any more sequels.
No, not that movie, but just in general.
Yeah,
Like, think about it. Halloween 2018, we can't be mad because
because
it's
it's
not
not
a
another
remake. It's just a sequel to the original. So,
right.
like, if they
And
made a sequel to what was the like a Nightmare on Elm Street, because the second one was very different, right? They made a
it
sequel.
was.
They made a sequel. If they make it a sequel to the, I can see that working out. Just
I
continue the
could
story.
too.
Nancy's still alive.
I just wish that they would give other dinosaur movies a chance. There's like so many other dinosaur books out there that I think would make
There's so many
great
books.
dinosaur movies.
Eric, there's so many books on dinosaurs and not that many dinosaur movies. It's just Jurassic World. Like, why?
Right. It's like, yes, I am a huge fan of
Me too.
Jurassic Park and slash World. I mean, don't get me wrong. But it's like, Jurassic Park is not the only dinosaur movie out there.
Oh,
There are other ones out there.
I don't know why this came to me now, but I was looking at that Sonic design, and I really hope that's not the final design. Like, I hope they change it at the end.
Uh, that design. Oh.
It's so cringe. Oh my god, it's so
He
cringy.
does. I mean, he looks too human.
Yeah.
Oh man, that design. I'm sorry, but if they go with that design,
Hmm.
this film, I swear, people are going to be making memes about it, and people are going to make fun of it like no other. I
Right.
mean, heck, people pretty much already are.
Oh, I had a question for the Godzilla. I know Godzilla is the movie you're looking forward to the most this year because you told me. What do you think of the title, King of the Monsters? The subtitle.
Well, I think that it's a good homage to the 1956 Americanized version of the original Japanese version. I think that's a cool.
Hmm. Yeah, I know that's the movie you're looking forward to the most this year. So, what do you think about the fact that Michael Dowdery is doing it? Hello, Eric? Well, guys, I don't know what happened to Eric. I guess we will continue this some other time.